ice won't dip. You just remember what your old past did. Boy, you got a pretty.
Hello and happy Tuesday afternoon. We're coming to you live here in August. I think it's August 8th from Bowling Green, Ohio at the NAMI County office. Today we are going to share about a lot of topics. You will notice we are all wearing purple today, and Krista's going to talk about why. I'm going to talk a little bit about National Grief Awareness Day and a little bit later. We have some conversation about National Nonprofit Day, Friendship Day, in our self care corner, a new law that coaches are getting a little bit more mental health education. We're going to hear about an individual that took a mental health break. And then we are going to hear a little bit more about Women's Equality Day and again, why we're wearing purple. But before we get to all that, I'm going to share a little bit about what we have going on coming up. And here you can see we have shirts for sale. Our colorful shirts come in two different featured styles. Designs is the word I'm looking for. And so we have being normal is vastly overrated with the stigma on the back. And so that one comes in the mint, the red color, the light blue, and the yellow. And then the other one is our Be Positive shirt. And so that has some fun sayings on the back about being yourself and all sorts of fun things. And that one comes in all the other, the four colors as well. And then in the bottom corner, the white one, that one is our spring shirt. So the spring shirt is for sale for 15. The colorful shirts are for sale for 20. You can get those on our website. Next up, we have volunteering. We would love to have some volunteers to help us in the office get ready for some of our upcoming events. We have our upcoming event, including our afterburn. We would love to have some help for. I know Bree is really looking for her volunteer list to fill up. And then I know Amanda would really love some volunteers to help facilitate some of our courses. So if that's something that you sound interested in or know somebody that might benefit from or be interested in, reach out. Don't ever hesitate to reach out. We have a volunteer interest form right on our website on our Get Involved page. Speaking of our classes, we have family to family, peer to peer, and NAMI basics coming up. If you're a parent or a caregiver that could benefit from learning a little bit more about your child's mental health condition and how to navigate the mental health system, come and hang out with Krista and I. We're going to teach the NAMI basics course. If you're a person that is living with a mental health condition, whether you're in recovery or not, you are more than welcome to attend our peer-to-peer course. And then if you are a person that has an adult relative living with a mental health condition, come join us for family to family. Those all start in September. You can sign up on our website. All the dates are available on our website or here, unless if you're looking on a phone screen. It's really itty bitty. So check it out on our website. It's all on our events calendar. It's also on the page's program page. Last but not least, Afterburn is coming up. Come join us for this free event to get some chili, get some shirts, participate with the recovery celebration at the end of the day, do some trunk or treat. The only things for purchase would be the shirts and the chili, and we are always accepting donations. But we would love to have you join us and learn a little bit more about some community resources and get some fun trunk or treat things. So that's all I have to share with you for that. We are looking forward to hearing a little bit more from Bree about Women's Equality Day. Hey there, Bree.
Hi, Jessica. So like Jessica said, I'm going to talk a little bit about Women's Equality Day. Women's Equality Day is celebrated in the United States on August 26th to commemorate the 1920 adoption of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which prohibits the states and federal government from denying the right to vote to citizens of the United States on the basis of sex. This was a culmination of a massive, peaceful civil rights movement by women that had its formal beginnings in 1848 at the world's first Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York. The observance of Women's Equality Day not only commemorates the passage of the 19th Amendment, but also calls attention to women's continuing efforts toward full equality. Workplaces, libraries, organizations, and public facilities now participate in Women's Equality Day programs, displays, video showings, and other activities, like News at 2. On Women's Equality Day, we celebrate the trailblazers who fought to deliver a better future for women of all varieties in America. I know I, for one, am grateful for all the women in our office and the women who've come before me. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much. And I will just take myself off the screen instead of muting myself and just awkwardly sitting here next time.
I was just going to let you do your thing.
But I really love how timely your presentation was with today being voting day. So get out and vote, folks.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bree. Next up, we're going to hear why is the whole staff wearing purple? And I think Krista's joining us in a purple jam shirt and purple ribbon. So looking forward to hearing why we're all wearing purple, Krista.
Thanks, Jessica. So Wear It Purple movement was founded in 2010 in response to global stories of real teenagers taking their own lives following bullying and harassment resulting from a lack of acceptance of their sexuality or gender identity. So the Wear It Purple movement strives to foster supportive, safe, empowering, and inclusive environments for rainbow young people. It provides visibility to LGBTQ plus youth, please pardon the train, and it works to foster awareness, opportunity, environment, and collaboration. This year's theme encourages the rainbow youth to write their story from their unique lens to promote community, visibility, and a broader acceptance. So they invite you to join the movement and wear purple on August 25th to celebrate Wear Purple Day. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Krista. I really appreciate you talking about this for our, what do you call them? Our young rainbow allies, our LGBTQI youth plus youth. Yeah, sure. Thank you. And so next up, we are going to hear a little bit more from Courtney on National Nonprofit Day, and she's going to chat with us a little bit more about the afterburn, but what is National Nonprofit Day and all that fun stuff. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Jessica. All right, so National Nonprofit Day is celebrated each year on August 17th, and it's to recognize nonprofits organizations' ongoing efforts to serve the community. Nonprofits throughout the country work to promote awareness and offer assistance to individuals who otherwise would not be able to afford it. Activities contribute to the shaping of our society and provide hope for a brighter future. We all contribute in some manner, whether it's volunteering, giving, or just spreading the word about a nonprofit. In 2017, Americans donated more than $400 billion to a variety of charity organizations. And in case you didn't know, NAMI County is a registered 501c3 nonprofit. If you're unfamiliar and just tuning into this for the first time, our mission is to provide support, education, and advocacy for individuals who are affected by mental illness. So we do this through our free classes, support groups, presentations, trainings, and a variety of awareness events throughout the year. We offer many ways for people to give back, including monetary and in-kind donations, as well as volunteer opportunities. So if you are looking to give back to a nonprofit organization, we are hosting our biggest annual fundraiser, Afterburn, on Friday, October 6th at 5 p.m. at the Wood County Fairgrounds. This is a family fun fall event that includes free trunk or treat, a chili cook-off, kids games and activities, and a recovery celebration to end the evening. This event is free for community members to attend, with food and t-shirts available for purchase. There are a variety of ways that you can support our Afterburn and our mission. You can sign up to attend, so come for the trunk or treat and consider purchasing meals. They are $10 each. Our t-shirts range prices $12 to $20, including some of those cool t-shirts that were shown before. You can also sign up for our chili cook-off. So if you have an award-winning chili recipe, consider making a batch to enter into our chili cook-off. It's free to participate in, and we will also have chili tastings available for purchase. You can also consider sponsoring our event. So we have corporate sponsorships available for businesses and organizations. They range from prices $500 to $2,000. So if you are interested in that, you can contact me. I oversee that. Or you can come volunteer. We are always looking for folks to help out in our event throughout the day and in the evening. So consider donating some of your time towards helping make this a successful event. You can visit our website, which will be in the comments, to attend, to sponsor, to volunteer, any way that you can support our awareness event. All proceeds for our event and all the fundraisers that we do, they go towards our classes and support groups. So we can continue to offer them for free for individuals affected by mental illness in Wood County. That's all for me on National Nonprofit Day, and sign up for the Afterburn. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much for talking about National Nonprofit Day and talking about all the fun ways that people can get involved here.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Courtney. So next up, we are going to hear a little bit. I mentioned that new law that is getting coaches across the state of Ohio educated a little bit more on mental health related topics. So Amanda's going to join us now and chat with us a little bit more about what this entails and all the fun stuff that goes with it. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Jessica. All right, so I'll tell you guys a little bit more about this. So there's a new law in Ohio. It took effect on July 4th, which requires school sports coaches to undergo training in student mental health support. So this is included in House Bill 33. The provision states that all coaches must complete this training before they can apply for or renew their pupil activity program permit. The training course must be approved by the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. So right now, Ohio is the only state that requires coaches to get mental health training. This bill would not require coaches to become therapists or medical professionals, but merely give them the tools that they need to identify mental health issues in their students, and then learn how to direct those students to receive care they need and even might be able to save their lives. So student athletes face many different pressures. There is the internal or individual pressure as the student athlete worries about not being good enough, letting their parents down, or disappointing their coaches or teammates. There's also pressure to do all the things, so stay in shape, work on skills, weight train, travel, play in tournaments, go to clinics, and more. Students' connection to the world through social media creates added pressure for them to perform their best on their field of play. And not only are the fans in the stand watching, but someone is likely recording or will post about this athletic event on social media to add a little bit more stress. So I am interested to see if any other states adopt this law in the future. Now back to you, Jessica.
That would be interesting to see if any other states adopt this or something similar in the future, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for sharing, Amanda. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So next up, we are going to hear a little bit about who needed a break when they were kind of struggling. Hey, Maddie. Maddie's going to share with us now about a story about, I believe, Miss Anna Kendrick, right?
Yes, thanks, Jessica. So according to ET, Anna Kendrick, commonly known for her main character role in Pitch Perfect, recently opened up in a podcast with Dax Shepard about her previous relationship and mental health problems. While being in an abusive relationship, Anna realized the negative toll that it was taking on her life and mental well-being. She quotes saying that she remembers feeling crazy while dealing with the infidelity of her husband and trying to juggle these feelings while maintaining her acting career. Anna also discusses how she started to prioritize her mental health by going to therapy and attending AA meetings and the positive impact that it had on her life. Her story helps to provide hope for others who may be struggling with similar situations that Anna was in. If you or someone you know might be struggling with their mental health, remember that it is okay to ask for help. We are always here for you at NAMI County, and we hope this story makes you feel hopeful and eager to work on your mental health and better yourself in all ways that you can. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much for sharing this important story. Sometimes it's kind of helpful to hear a little bit more about other people and their struggles to normalize your own struggles, right?
Yes, for sure, especially celebrities.
Yeah, and thanks, Maddie. I appreciate it. So next up, I'm going to chat a little bit about what National Grief Awareness Day is. So National Grief Awareness Day was founded in 2014 by Angie Cartwright. We're going to have a link down below in the chat, and that's going to share a little bit more information about National Grief Awareness Day. It's the complete guide. I don't know how complete it is as far like maybe there is a more complete guide elsewhere, but that's the one that I found. And so that's what we're putting in there. But this was her attempt to address how we deal with grief and end really the stigma. It's a movement to show compassion to others and those that are grieving and provide education to those with a negative attitude about it. So what's a negative attitude, you might ask? So sometimes people have thoughts that you should grieve faster or slower or grieve in a different way that you're grieving. Like maybe you should be showing different emotions than what a person is, but everybody grieves differently. It's really the internal part of experiencing a loss, right? Our mourning, when we show our tears, our emotions, that's our external version of mourning, but this grief is that internal part that only we feel, right? It's the love that we had that really had nowhere to go. And that's a really good way to kind of explain how a person feels when they're grieving. So the honest answer is we can't really avoid grief. It's a part of the healing process. It's a part of life. Everybody experiences it. Sometimes the aftermath can last a lifetime. And there's really not a certain process that people experience grief. So we know that Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross had designed the 5 different stages of grief. I'm sure people have kind of heard the denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance stages. But the truth is we don't experience them exactly in that order every single time. This is something that we can experience in various orders, or we can experience a couple of different things at the same time. So we kind of, or maybe we skip different stages. And so everybody's just different in the way we grieve, and we grieve different experiences differently. So when we grieve, we don't just necessarily have to be grieving the loss of a loved one. It could be the loss of a job or the loss of a relationship, and that person is still alive. And so grief is kind of funny in that way, in that we all experience it differently. One analogy that I found that really resonated with me is the ball in the box idea. And so if you've never heard of this, it's this idea that our grief that we feel is this ball, right? And it's bouncing around in a box. And in this box is this button on the side. And this button, when it's pressed, it's our pain button. So think of it as when it's pushed, that's our physiological experience of grief, or it can even be our mental and emotional anguish that we also have. And so when the ball is biggest is just after we experience that loss, right? Because we feel the pain frequently and often. And so as this ball is bouncing around the box, it's going to push that button more frequently because there's really not much room for that ball to bounce around. So it's going to push the button more often, and we're going to feel the pain more often. We're going to be reminded of that loss more frequently. And as time goes on, that ball shrinks more and more. Well, when the ball shrinks, the box is going to stay the same. The pain button is going to stay the same, but it's not going to push it quite as frequently. And so as time goes on, this ball gets smaller and smaller. Now, as it bounces around, it's still going to press that pain button from time to time. We're still going to have the same experience of grief, and it might be just as big as it was the day that it happened. But this ball is not going to press it near as often. And so when people say, time heals all wounds, time just kind of makes the ball smaller. The experience of grief, though, we may still have in the way we're reminded of a scent or a smell or an experience. And so we still experience grief sometimes just as strong as it was the first day. We just don't experience it near as often as time goes on. Everybody has different mental, emotional, physiological signs and symptoms of grieving and loss. But it's important to notice when the difference is between grief and depression, and when you should go and get some help for this. So when should you seek help? I would suggest when this has gone on for some time and you're still not able to go to work or go to school or carry out those daily activities that we all must do, like showering and getting dressed in the morning. Or when it's to the point where you're not able to engage with your friends or your family that are in those relationships that are really satisfying to you. And so when it's getting to the point where some time is gone and you're still struggling with some of these experiences, maybe it's time to seek out some help. And so here at NAMI, we have resources that we can provide to you, where to find a different clinician. There are therapists that work specifically with people that are grieving. I know one cool one is my sister is currently getting her credentials in providing therapy and services for people that are just grieving. And so we have a few of those in our community we have access to. We also have some different resources and support groups that you can go to. And so if you know somebody or you are a person that is struggling with grieving and you feel that you could benefit from some of these services, reach out. You can email us, you can call us, you can stop in. We have all of these resources available. So again, I'm going to turn the narrative. So enough about Grief Awareness Day. Feel free to read a little bit more about it in the comments below. But we are going to turn to the self-care corner and hear a little bit more from Sherry. So Sherry's going to share. Hey,
Hi.
I'm going to pass the baton to you and hopefully end us on a more positive note than grief.
Okay, you're not going to join me? Okay, National Friendship Day was celebrated on August 6th. 2 days ago, and it's always celebrated on the first Sunday in August. International Friendship Day was celebrated on July 30th.
Friendship Day is a celebration of our friends and the importance of having a loving platonic relationship. Friends are the purest type of human relationships, and we can celebrate the strength of our friendships thanks to the internet, social media. We can continue to celebrate with our friends from anywhere. I want to shout out to all my gal and guy pals. You know who you are. And thank you. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much for talking a little bit more about Friendship Day. I'm going to bring everybody on, and we're excited that you were able to join us. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. We hope that you stay safe and you're getting ready to go back to school if you have kiddos or you're going to school yourself. So take care.